Hey everybody, this is Dark Guardsman and we're back with another quick chat. So what I'm going to go over real quick is kind of emphasize on something I want to do. So there's been a lot of talk about what we're going to do with Atomic Science, when it's going to get updated, what's going to happen with the mod and everything else. There's been a few plans going on. When I first originally decided I was going to update the mod, I was like, hey, I'm just going to update it flat out and I'm going to leave it alone because I don't have exactly the time to be working on a mod. Then came the concept like, hey, let's remaster the mod completely. Let's completely refresh it because it was a mod that people did like, but unlike ICBM, it wasn't going to be a mod that people were going to kind of die hard after the original features. Turns out that kind of was the wrong approach, as I've gotten quite a few emails of people asking me like, hey, are you going to keep the mod original and everything else? And this is kind of what sparked off the video today and this vote on Twitter, is I finally got another one. I was like, you know what, let's actually ask people what they want to do, because people are looking for 1.5.2 features and I'm porting the 1.6.4 version and they want to see what's actually going to happen with the mod, and they want to know if their favorite features are going to come back. And we'll probably do a video over the original 2 mod versions, as to be honest, even though I did work on the mod for Calculavi at some point in time, I actually do not know all the features in the mod. I know we had reactors and we had particle accelerators. I sort of knew how to make the fusion reactors work, so we're definitely going to have to take some time here in the future and go back and play both versions and see what we're going to be missing between each version and what we're going to do with the mod. So right now, as you can probably tell from the vote as is, let's see if we can get this to pop up on full screen. We have got 5 people voting, so I just started this vote not long ago. I'm hoping to get a lot more people to vote, so if you guys see this, please go find this tweet, retweet the crap out of it, like it, do whatever you want with it, reply down below with your opinion, everything, not just vote, like reply. I actually want to hear your feedback. I want to hear what is your favorite features, what did you like about the mod, what do you plan to do with the mod, do you plan to use it as a replacement for big reactors, do you think it's inferior to big reactors? Please tell me your opinion. I actually want to know. I don't care how harsh it is, I don't care how much you're diehard for the mod. Just go in and reply. Please actually don't be like full on like you should make the mod type of thing, but like put some constructive feedback in there. And then vote, of course. So right now the options that we have for this vote, and this is probably not going to be the final version, so even if one version wins, or one type wins in the vote, that doesn't mean that's going to be what we're actually going to do. I'm using this as an indicator to see what you guys actually want, so then I can modify and adjust my plans to fit the need of what I think will work in the long term. So right now we've got the first vote, which is leave it as is. This is, I'm going to directly port it, clean it up, and I'm going to leave the mod alone. If we actually hit a leave it as it is mark, it's very likely I'll do the same thing I did with ICBM Classic, and I'm just going to directly port that to 1.12 and make it a standalone mod if we do go that goal, because it will be really easy to maintain the mod, because the mod was really feature simple. People look at Atomic Science and are like, oh, that's a really complicated mod because you had dynamic reactor designs and everything else. It really isn't. The biggest problem with working on a mod like that was just simply understanding the concepts. Once you understood the concept, the code was as simple as it got. It was something that a first year or second year computer science major could actually have reproduced in a week or so. So we get the second option, improve on the design. This will be pretty much what the current ICBM Classic is. You'll be taking the mod, porting it as is, and then expanding upon it. So the current ICBM Classic is heading this direction as well. I did say I was going to port ICBM Classic as is, but then I realized it does need work. It needs cleanup. So no matter what, if we go with a leave it as is option, this is what's going to happen. We're going to have to improve on the design. We're going to have to clean up the GUIs. We're going to have to fix stuff. The backend definitely is getting reworked. There's been a lot I've been told about from other developers that Atomic Science had some fatal flaws with its backend where things were not working well. Like if you messed up the reactor design, it just flat out wouldn't work. There was problems where you could exploit the plasma venting. There was issues with duplication. There was problems where the particle accelerator would fail to work, especially with the chunk loading. So we're definitely going to rework a lot of that. So this is the question. This vote is for the face value stuff. This is for the user side of it, like the user experience. Like, how do you want to play the mod? How do you want to build your machines? How do you want to connect the pipes to them? Do you want new models? Stuff like that. That's the reason why the comment section is there. Tell me if you want new models, new graphics, if you want updated things, etc., etc. Redesign. This is the option, as I said, where we were heading for, and I've actually had some people sit here and do research for me for this one. So I have research notes sitting around, and there's been a lot of talk back and forth about how we're going to do this one. This one is going to happen at some point, but maybe not with Atomic Science. So because we've already done all the research, and I really want to make a nice reactor mod, we are going to make a nice reactor mod. It just, is it going to happen with Atomic Science, or is it going to happen with a separate mod? So if you guys like that option, we're going to go with that one. because that would be the best out of all of them in my opinion, for the reason that Atomic Science, when I looked at it in the original version, was too simple. There wasn't a lot to do in it. There wasn't a lot of balancing. There wasn't a lot of direction. It's the same reason why I redesigned ICBM as well back in the past, is there was not a lot of direction to go with it. There wasn't a lot to do. Very simple, focused. Of course, you guys like it, which I understand why you like it, because simple is actually really cool to play with. There's times I've actually gone out of my way to go find a mod pack that's really simplistic and play it just because I don't want to do Greg Tech style stuff. If we redesign it, it's up to you guys what level we redesign it at, so that's where you want to comment down here, and you can send me comments anywhere. Like, come on to Discord and chat with me. Go send me comments on CurseForge. Any place you want to, any place you have access to me, go ahead and put comments on, like, what do you want to see the mod do. I'll even take discussions on GitHub, although I prefer you not do that, but you guys can do that if you feel you need to. So possible redesigns we're going to be looking at if we ever do this. We're definitely going to make the process to make heavy water and tritium much more complicated. So that's actually deuterium and tritium, basically hydrogen 3, I think is what it is. No, I think it's a isotope. So that's going to get more complicated because it was a little too easy to make. This is not going to probably significantly impair the ability to actually make fusion power, but it is going to push the fusion power to a later game, which is what I want to do, because I'm going to probably up the power creation of it as well. So not only will you actually take longer to get there, but once you get there, it'll be massive power gain. That's going to be probably more realistic if we redesign it. And there's also, if we end up redesigning it, there might be more than one fusion reactor in the mod. This is all going to be kept with the same theme and style, so it'll be all multi-block design, but not actually true multi-block. So don't think in terms of Railcraft or immersive engineering where you have a very static multi-block style. This is going to be very dynamic, very user-orientated. So think big reactors where you can make a big reactor any way you want, but think even more dynamic than big reactors. So you don't have to have a defined casing wall. You wouldn't have to have a defined layout of your machine parts. There will be bonuses, of course, depending on how you lay out things, but it'll be really free flow is what we're going to do, which is how the original mod is designed, of course. So with the fusion reactor, we're probably going to do a few different ones. There's several different types we can play around with. There's, of course, the toroid design where you put a toroid, a fusion reactor. That's what the original one is meant to be. You'll probably notice from older videos of what it looked like. So that's definitely why we're going to probably go in and look at some of the older mods and look at how the older stuff set up. There's also the laser type, which you guys have probably seen on the new Star Trek movies. They use that as part of their engine room as an actual real fusion reactor is used actually in that. And there's a new steam piston hammer one, which I linked a video in the Discord the other day. I'll probably see if I can find that again and show that off. That's probably another one we're going to use. And there's several other different types we're going to use, probably cold fusion and everything else. And this doesn't apply just for the fusion. We're probably going to go into the actual nuclear reactors themselves, and we're probably going to redo those. Right now, the current nuclear reactor is just a rod that you can put in and out, and that's about it. That's really about the limit of what you can do with it. So you got like a core. I guess you can actually stack the cores in the 164 version, I believe. The 152 version, I don't think you can stack the cores, but you can actually do that now, so you can actually get a lot more power out of the design. I think Resonant Induction even took that further, where you can multi-block the core. So we'll look at some of that stuff. Some of that stuff is probably, even if we take it to the leave it alone state, is going to probably happen because the mod is going to have to improve to keep up with newer mods, no matter what. So we'll probably do that. If we do redesign, we'll probably put thorium reactors in there. We're probably going to do a lot more with the particle accelerators. One of the big things when we were doing a lot of research with the particle accelerators is we decided, hey, we're going to let you make stuff with the particle accelerators. Not just do strange matter, not just do antimatter, not just do like a UU matter type system, but say start to make heavier elements, so like turning lead into gold, basically. Of course, the atomic assembler will still be used for that if that is included. The atomic assembler will definitely get rebalanced no matter what. That was a bit of a weird system that never got finished, so we're going to have to work on that. So even if we go leave it alone state, that system is going to have to get some help on it. Probably a better crafting system and a more manageable system on how to balance it. Because UU matter is kind of cool, but I know one of the bigger complaints I got from the atomic assembler is that everybody disabled it because it was just a cheap UU matter system. So we're gonna have to go through and probably work on that. Even I'll keep it as close as possible to the originals, but of course you guys vote on that. If you don't want me to change it, just comment in the reply. And then the last and final option is make a separate mod. So if we actually go with these first two, as I said, we're probably going to end up making a separate mod. Now this may not be a separate mod on its own. This means we're going to make the content for a separate mod. So we have Basic Industries, which is a mod that I am planning out, and I'm going to make an entire video to talk about that concept on its own. but it's going to be something very similar to a combination of multiple tech mods. So Basic Industries is actually going to be not just a clone of a tech mod, it's going to be like an ecosystem of tech mods. So you're going to have a variety of machines in there. You'll have machines that'll do the same thing, but the goal and plan is to end up building those machines out to act as independent companies from each other that you would build machines from, and each one would have a unique quirk or bonus to it. And that'll let you get away with all different things. It's something I'll probably talk about in another video, but it'll allow us to kind of have fun with the concept of machines, and that is a perfect fit if we ever want to do nuclear physics or something, because all we have to do is make a company in that mod and go, okay, this is a company that produces nuclear reactors. And the fun thing is we can go and clone big reactors and a few other mods if we want to, and just have fun with their concepts as well and tie them in with each other and kind of just have a good laugh at it, because the mod is meant to be Basic Industries is meant to be used as kind of more of an RPG experience, so it's meant to be used in an adventure and exploration pack more than it is meant to be used in a tech pack. And it's there to allow you to have a large server, because I've seen a lot of people make kitchen soup packs, and they'll throw a ton of mods in there because they want to give everybody different options. Well, having Basic Industries would be your different options. Of course, you can still install other mods, and I want to add full compatibility with them, including even maybe adding lore to them and a ton of other stuff, and just treat them as if they were part of the mod themselves. So if we make a separate mod, a possibility is to either make that as part of Basic Industries, make it as an add-on. We can make it as an add-on for another system. There's a lot we can do with to make that a separate mod thing, and of course you guys can reply into the comments with what you guys want on that regard. So that's pretty much all the options. That's the vote, and of course we have been having a conversation over here in Discord, so feel free to join the Discord and talk about the mod. If you remember the mod, specifically come in and put replies of some of your favorite experiences with it. Come in the Discord. I'll be even happy if you guys link videos. I would love to see some of your creations of the old Atomic Science mod, because it was not a mod that I actually played a huge amount, and I don't know a lot about how people used to use it. I knew a lot about ICBM because I was part of the experience of designing ICBM from almost the beginning. I actually helped Cal Claviu back when his missiles were just arrows that fired out of dispensers. So I did that. I kind of helped him with Atomic Science, but I didn't do much with that because that was a mod that he pretty much engineered overnight and didn't really talk to a lot of people about how he built that. It's the same problem with MFFS force field system. He took that mod over and worked on it on his own, so I didn't have a lot of experience with that. So I'd love to see you guys talk about how you use those mods and worked with them and everything else, and feel free to reply on Twitter. Definitely retweet this if you have a Twitter account. I need as much feedback as possible because I want to make a good decision. This decision will be a lasting decision that will last for a very long time. So whatever gets picked is pretty much stuck there and probably will not get changed again. So that's been it, and that's the talk I wanted to do about. So I'll see you guys later with more video content, and for those who are going to ask in the comments when ICBM Classic is getting released, it's really close. I just need to do recipes and multi-blocks at this point, and I'm done.